Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery in our video studio today with a product I've been waiting to see myself for a while. I did get a chance to play with these for a bit. These are the Beast Broadheads. So this is a new broadhead on the market that's out from Bowmar Archery, and it is called the Beast. Then Beast stands for Bone Evading Advanced Spring Technology. So this, as you can see, is a mechanical broadhead that does have a spring-loaded blade feature that we're going to tell you about here in a second. So first off, there are two versions. There's a 2-inch and a 2.3 inch. And what that refers to is your cutting diameter across. These are the 2-inch that I have here. And as I mentioned, there's a 2.3 inch version as well. They come in both 100 and 125 grains. This is the 125 grain version that comes here. They do come in a 2-pack. And you also, in the pack, get a practice tip. Now, this is important because you really don't want to practice with these broadheads. There's a specific reason why. But this practice head, it has the exact same profile that the broadhead will have when it's in the flying position, the flight position. So this is your practice head here that you get with it. But what are we looking at here? So the Beast Broadhead, you've got this really sharp pointed, it is a chisel tip. You can see the chisel on the top there. So this thing is going to start penetrating as soon as it hits. And then you come down to these, you're going to have two blades. These are a German Lutz blade. So this is a special stainless steel. And these are treated a unique way. They're taken down to a super low temperature. And what that does is it helps them maintain their sharpness. So one of the things with the Beast Broadheads is, you know, with a lot of expandables, they're one and done. The blades are toast after you shoot one animal, that's it. With the Beast, they're saying you may get 2 or 3 animals, provided, you know, it doesn't go all the way through the animal, hit the ground, you know, hit a rock on the way in there. That's where the broadheads will get destroyed. But if it stays in the animal, or you just get a pass through and the arrow just falls down, you can probably use the Beast Broadhead again. Of course, that's individual basis. You have to check that yourself. But what we're looking at here, as we mentioned, spring-loaded. Now, the Beast Broadhead, it comes with these are finger protectors. Put them on here. It's made out of a material that's similar to like what commercial fishermen use who are filleting fish commercially. That's what these are made of, so they are basically impenetrable. And the reason that you get these is because now to get the broadhead back into the flight position, I have to cock them. So I'm just going to take these gloves, press on the outside here until I hear them click. And now it is ready in flight. Now, one of the things with the Beast Broadheads is a lot of mechanical broadheads have a little bit wider profile in flight, which can cause some aerodynamic planing, especially in the wind. The Beast, it is 0.66 from this side to this side, 0.66 inches. So it is fairly tiny when it's in flight, which helps to minimize that planing effect. So you're not going to have much drift. It's windy today. I went outside and shot these at 40 yards and they did hit right with my field points. I didn't notice any issue there. So, but what the big talking point about the Beast is, you can see these two shoulders up here. So when the broadhead starts in and then it impacts those shoulders, what's going to happen is this. I'll just push from the back, but this is the other way you get them to deploy. It's going to spring out into action. And what, the folks at Bowmar Archery, they did a test with a high-speed camera. You put this in front of the camera and you have little marks making sort of an L-shaped, your vertical and your horizontal. And then with high speed, you can see the speed, how fast something moves. They rated this at 940 miles per hour. That's how fast those springs come out, which again is why they give you these. Whenever you're handling these, you can imagine if that spring would have broken open and my finger were in the way, it would hurt. I pushed this on a door jamb and the blade sunk into the wood just to get it to open. I wanted to see what it did. Boom, blade open, went into the wood. And they are super sharp. That German Lutz blade, they are really sharp. You can take a look here. I mean, that thing just sliced through there nicely. So point being, you don't want that hitting your finger. And now as the name said, bone evading advanced spring technology. So if you look inside this channel in there, you're gonna see a spring. And so what happens is, this is out here with some force. I'm pushing on this and it's not moving. So what happens is this goes through, starts to enter the animal, and it's gonna stay in this position. Now, let's say you hit a bone. One side, you hit a rib. One side will bend down to get out of the way. Bone evading advanced spring technology. So the one side will cave in, as it hits a rib, it's coming in, it hits that rib. The one side will fold in, and as soon as it gets past the rib, it pops back out. And the reason I mention that is how sturdy this is because I know a lot of people are thinking, well, how do you know that blade's just not gonna fold up as it's going through the animal, when it hits the hide? It's a fair amount of force that it takes for you to get these to go back together. So it's got to hit something pretty hard in order for that blade to bend back in, like a rib. And then as we mentioned, as soon as it gets past the rib, boom, the spring kicks in, back out it goes into the deployed position. So that's cool in that, a lot of times mechanical broadheads, they either get stopped by a rib or they get deflected by a rib. With this one, it's just gonna cave the blade in, come back up, and keep on going through its path. So what that's gonna do for you is it's gonna give you awesome penetration. To get the blades to deploy, in other words, when this is going into the animal and hits the shoulder here, it only takes 1.3 pounds of force in order to get those blades to deploy. And Bowmar Archery, in their testing of various broadheads, they said they found anywhere from like 5 to 15 pounds of force that it would take for certain broadheads to deploy their blades. So there's 1.3 pounds. So another reason you want to keep those fingers away. But that just lets you know that this, a lot of people talk about, oh, my mechanical went all the way through the deer and it never opened. That's not going to happen with the Beast. 1.3 pounds, those blades are coming open. And of course, with that spring technology in there, we have no collars, no rubber bands, no collars. So you don't have to worry about messing with any of those. It is simply the spring that's inside there that holds these blades in place when they're in your quiver. And a couple things that I will tell you, that when you are going to set them, when they come in a pack, one of them is going to be already in the flight position, but the other one is going to have the blades open. It is much easier to work on them if you attach it to an arrow. When you're sitting there just holding on to the ferrule and trying to do it, it's kind of a pain. Put it on an arrow and then it's real easy to work with these blades, again, with your finger protectors on. All right, so that is the Beast Broadhead from Bowmar Archery. Great new broadhead that we're carrying here at Lancaster Archery, and I know that there is a ton of excitement out there. We've seen it in the pre-orders. We are getting them in as fast as we can in order to get them out to you because there's a lot of excitement about these broadheads. Excited to see what they do on a bunch of animals this year. You know, Josh Bowmar, he shot several animals with these, but it's going to be cool to see them get into the hands of the general public. And so then there's a larger database of information about how these broadheads work. But I can tell you how they function in here in the studio, just working with them with your hands, how they fly out on the range. They are excellent. Speaking of the range, as I mentioned, you don't want to practice with these heads. You want to use the practice head because the way that you will damage one of the Beast Broadheads is if you try and pull it back out. When the blades are deployed, you don't want to pull it back out. If you do shoot one of these into a target, you're going to want to push it all the way through the target and then unscrew it and take it out. It's best not to shoot them, I think, into a target at all, because that dulls the blades as well. But if you do, and it goes into the target, don't pull back, push it through, unscrew it, take it off. All right, that is the Beast Broadhead from Bowmar Archery. Super excited to have these broadheads here at Lancaster Archery. If you want to see the different variations that we have, be sure to click the link in the description below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. And as always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at lancasterarchery.com.